wasn't recording. This is Countess and all of her babies. An update. See how big they've gotten? I know. I like that one out there.
Dang, that one is almost as big as she is.
I know. I see one that looks like a rooster.
I think the one with that's like super multicolored.
Yeah.
That one's a rooster, and there's a white one that's
Right
a
there
rooster.
or over there?
And there's at least one white one that I think is a rooster, and there might be.
I see one right here that I think is a rooster.
Yeah, I think that one's a rooster for sure. But that one that's like super multicolored, I think that's a rooster.
There's two white ones that are, I'm thinking roosters. Right here's one, and then right there's one.
I was hoping there. So that one still has the bald patch on his head.
Oh, yep, sure does.
We'll need to name him Patch. Her. Come on, Patch.
I think that one right there is a rooster. That's a rooster right there.
This one right here?
Yep.
Yep. And that one right there?
Yep, and that one right there, yeah.
I didn't think there was going to be that many roosters, but...
Well, I don't think well, maybe this one might be a rooster.
That one, like that one. That one's like super colorful.
Yeah, that one right there I think is a rooster.
Yeah.
So 3 roosters maybe? She made a noise and they all dropped. Whoa!
So there's the one with the fuzzy legs. That's a rooster.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny how the dark ones, their feathers are striped.
Both the white ones that I think are roosters have fuzzy legs.
Look like her, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's how Cricket is. Cricket has fuzzy legs and is a rooster and looks a lot like her. Poor butt feathers.
Whose butt feathers?
Her butt feathers.
Is she pulling them out?
Probably.
Stressing.
Look at her looking at it. It's okay.
It's okay.
Let's pick one up and snuggle it.
So pick one up and snuggle it.
No, let me pick them up.
Sorry, these birds are all feral.
Hi. It's just there. Or was it a leaf?
Well, do we want to do any explaining on how to raise chickens or anything right now, or do we want to do that on another video?
It's up to you, however you want to do it.
I don't care. I mean,
Countess, how do you raise chickens?
yep. How do you raise chickens? With lots of love. That's how you raise them.
Lots of feed.
And lots of feed, yeah.
Lots of stress.
So, obviously these were all hatched out at our place, but if...
They weren't hatched out at the other place, they were hatched out here. They were
Well,
just
yeah, they were hatched out at our place, yeah. What I'm saying is we didn't go to the store and buy these.
No.
But if we were, we would go to our local hardware store or farm supply store.
Farm store, yeah.
Yes.
Tractor Supply, Atwoods. There's been a lot of information put out recently on Tractor Supply and how they have been dealing with their birds. Our Tractor Supply had one of those tower things for a while, but our employees, the employees at our Tractor Supply, seem to genuinely care about the animals, the birds. They were, I mean, the whole thing was maybe, it was set up for a while, but it was a while before they got birds in. And I don't think they had birds in it for more than a week before they went back to the tank and heat lamp system, which to me, I know that you can buy, they're basically heating pads, but you can either put them on the wall or I think that's what they're meant for, is to put them on. I haven't used one, so I haven't done a whole lot of research into them. But it's basically the same thing that Tractor Supply did. Oh, and Tractor Supply had them all on the top of the square thing. And I've seen other people use them up against the wall. And either way, I think you'd have to have more than one. Heat lamps, yes, are, I feel like, way more dangerous because birds can knock them over. I've heard of people losing their entire flock from one of them knocking over a heat lamp, it getting broke, and of course the electricity and shavings is not a good combination. But that's what works for us. Works for me is the heat lamp. And
Obviously, a person wants to use safety whenever they clear precautions when they hang something like that, not to hang it to where it's going to burn something or something.
yeah, definitely. We always put them kind of high up above and when the birds start getting their feathers and learning to fly and well, as such as chickens do, you want to move them, but by the time they're fully feathered, they should be ready to go outside. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly.
No more heat lamps or anything like that. They should be able to fully...
I don't want to say no more, never ever, but I mean, do a lot of research. You'll learn when they get cold, they bunch up, but I mean, these guys right here, I would probably not put a heat lamp on them. They haven't had a heat lamp on them at all the whole time ever, and that's because their mom will sit on them and keep them warm. Chickens are essentially heaters. I mean, their digestive system produces a lot of heat, and I mean, anybody that's been around them, they know that. I mean, they're warm. They're warm. Chickens are warm, and I'm not talking baked and fried. I'm talking just heated up in the microwave. I'm talking these birds are a warm bird.
And keep in mind, everything that we're saying on this video is things that work for us.
Yeah, this is what works for us. So I mean, if you want to rush out and buy 60 chickens, do your research first. I mean, legit, do your research. And I wouldn't start out with 60. 2 or 3 is really great. Straight runs are almost always roosters.
Yeah, I was gonna say, when you go to a store, caution against straight runs, because straight runs are going to be mostly roosters. It's what they throw back into the panel after they've already sexed them to see if they're girls or not.
And even if you do buy the pullets, there's still a possibility that you get there's a rooster in there somewhere. It's not 100% of the time. It's maybe 80% of the time. I mean, people are sexing these chickens, and they're fallible. They make mistakes. Is it a Friday bird or is it a Monday bird? Type situation.
How ready were they to get off work, get their job done, just get home?
Yeah.
Medicated chick feed when they're young. That's what we do early on.
I mean, from the time when the company let's say Atwood's Tractor Supply, they get these birds in from these hatcheries, and they get them in large quantities. But they're able to do that because these hatcheries, they hatch out probably thousands of birds at a time. And the reason they can ship them like they do is because when a chicken first hatches, they will live off their yolk sac for the first day or 2. I mean, I'm not 100%. It probably depends on the breed, the size of the bird. But I mean, that's why we're able to ship them. The birds that I ordered, first time I've ever ordered birds, I got the shipping notice on Monday, and I think I picked them up on Tuesday. And so they're trying to get these birds to their new places as soon as possible. But I mean, it's good to offer them food and water when you get them, And I use a medicated feed probably for the minimum for the first 2 months, because I want these birds' systems to be able to handle the stress and everything. And I use the medicated because it's a coccidiosis preventative. It's not a cure, but I mean, it like I said, this is what has worked for me. And not saying that I've never had birds with coccidiosis, because I have, but I always get the vitamin, the little packets of vitamin. You can do I can't even think what it's called. It's a supplement. It's a vitamin supplement in a little packet is what I use. And you mix up a gallon at a time. And when you use that stuff, if you have it close to a heat lamp, you have to scrub out those waterers daily, because it will go sour really, really fast. And you're trying to keep them healthy, not...
Yeah, we do like a honey mixture sometimes with it if they're young. If they seem feeble or sickly, we try to.
Yeah, and use local honey, because that's what's gonna pick them up the best, because that's where, I mean, you want them used to whatever is. But yeah, honey is a natural, I want to say microbial, and it's just a good all-around electrolyte. It tastes good. It will perk them up just by the smell. And I've been doing a lot of reading lately, and Cricket had a vitamin deficiency when he was little, and so I was giving him vitamin B. Just I think it was vitamin B. I can't even remember. But anyway, it's just give him a little bit of that and the selenium, and I don't know what selenium is or does, but it did help him. I mean, it perked him up, and he's done pretty good ever since, even though he's always been a little off.
Now, I know people scream non-GMO and stuff like that. Well, we're not genetically modifying them. What we're doing is we're giving them the best chance that we can at survival. And once they get to a certain point, you know, like these guys are right here, they won't really need it so much anymore.
Okay, see the one? She's eating a feather. It eats a feather.
I see it, yeah.
When you see them doing that, that's not a bad thing. Feathers are protein.
Yeah, and also, you know, eggshells. You know, some people say, "Oh, I'll never give my bird eggshells or anything
Because
like that."
that's weird. That's cannibalism.
Well,
that's not cannibalism. I mean, an egg is made out of protein. So when you now, what I would say, my suggestion is don't give them just straight raw eggs.
Yeah.
Don't toss them out there, because that will teach them to cannibalize.
Yeah,
Your best bet is to hard boil it, and shell and all, smash it up, make it into a mush, and give it to them, and they'll get the calcium from the shell and the protein from the egg.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you know, in the morning when you decide to have yourself like an egg for breakfast or something like that, you crack your shell open, set it over to the side somewhere, smush it up really good, and then feed that to them. Just the shell itself, or you can kind of boil the shell itself.
Bake them. I've heard of people baking them.
But you do that so they'll have the calcium out of the shell. Birds, they need calcium, and that's a good source for them. If it's crushed up, it don't look like the egg shape, they're less likely to try to cannibalize. But if you just break an egg and throw it back in there to them where it still looks like the shape of the egg and they can still taste it, then that will teach them to be cannibalists for their own egg. But you know, they do need the calcium and stuff like that for.
You can buy calcium. Well, I mean, any kind of shell. You can go to, like, if you live near a creek and there's shells down there, you can go get those and crush them up. It doesn't really matter, because I personally like the idea of giving them the eggshells, because it's a process that they can reuse. I don't like using the insoluble grit, because it just sits in their crop. I guess, I don't know, in my brain that's the way it works. I like something that is better for them. I mean, eggshells are sustainable. If you have a hen, eggshells are sustainable, and it's better than toss them in the trash.
Yeah, it's recycling in a way. So, but you know, and this is all things that, like we said, works for us and our birds and everything like that. And we've had birds. We've got one. He is still alive.
Lemmy.
He's what, 10 years old, 15 years old.
I'm thinking he's closer to 15.
He's lived a long life. He's missing some toes. He's had some rough life. But
he's missing some feathers. He's been
missing feathers. Yeah.
He's been spurred in the eye by another rooster before.
But he's a tough old bird, and
yeah.
You know, when we had the cull the flock, he was in a separate area also, and he survived it. He survived not having to go through all that, and he was lonely. You could tell he was lonely because there wasn't no other birds around. And then he realized that we've got this whole new flock going, and he perked right up. He's right back to being
him.
Yeah, him. Yeah, but you know, so like I said, all this is things that works for us, and I know we're leaving stuff out, but always do all your research you can on your animal that you're purchasing and stuff like that. And
don't go to swap meets.
Don't go to swap meets, yeah. And you know, if there's any questions, if there's anything we left out, you know, if there's something you guys don't know, or if there's something that we didn't mention that you guys know or something, put it in the comments. I mean, let us know. We read the comments. We want to know what's going on. We want to help. We want to, you know, give feedback and stuff like that. If there's something we need to say or something like that, let us know, and we'll put a video out on it or something like that. Or if we need to be corrected, let us know.
By all means, yes.
We will correct it. Just like I said, this is for the love of the birds. We love our birds. We love, you know, their characteristics and their silly, their personalities, and it's just, I don't know what to say. They're cool birds. I mean, they're cool animals to have around, and we hope you guys get as much enjoyment out of them as we do. But like I said, leave comments in this section below, and if there's anything we left out, or if there's something you would like to know or a video of, just let us know. And thanks for watching. Bye.